Hey guys, today we are making 3 different recipes using chicken breasts. So get ready. We're going to start with our crock pot, put in some chicken into the very bottom, sprinkle it with a little bit of that ranch dressing mix, and then top it with cream cheese. Oh yes. Put a lid on it, let it cook for 7 hours on low, come back when you're fully dressed, and start shredding that chicken up. Oh my gosh, it is so delicious. It shreds so easy. Once you get it all shredded, go ahead and sprinkle some cheese right on top of that chicken. Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering just looking at it. Okay, so moving on, we're going to put on some bacon on top of that as well, and then go ahead and mix that all in. Maybe put in some green onions if you got them on hand. If you don't, it's okay, you can skip that step, but it does add a little bit of color and a little extra flavor, and we all love both of those. Then go ahead and plate it up. Now you can just put this in a bun and eat it like a sandwich. You could put it over rice, or you can be like us and you can put it over pasta. That is the route that we took. And then I added in some more of the cheese and some scallions on top of that as well. And we ate it and it was so good. And this was definitely my first time ever making this cracked chicken that everybody's been talking about for years, but it will not be my last. Next up is chicken pot pie. So for this one, you're going to start with some butter, onion, and mushrooms. Cook them in your pan until they're nice and soft. However, in the future, I'm probably going to omit those mushrooms and add something else like carrots instead, because I didn't think the mushrooms added anything to my dish, and I absolutely love mushrooms, so I don't want to waste them again. And then you add your flour. Now you see I said 1/3 of a cup plus 2 tablespoons. I didn't do the 2 tablespoons. I am adding that for you. You'll see why I wish I would have had it in the end. And then, of course, your seasonings. So I did thyme, rosemary, salt, and pepper. You can do any seasonings you want. Sage would be another really great one to throw in there. You just want to cook it for about 3 minutes, basically wanting to incorporate that butter and flour together and cook out any bacteria that is in that raw flour. Once you got that done, you're going to add in 2 cups of chicken broth. I suggest adding these a cup at a time, a little bit slowly, because you don't want to get extra clumps in there. You can use a whisk at this point if you want, but it gets a little tricky when you have mushrooms and onions in there already. So I did just fine using my rubber scraper and it turned out fine. Now for my chicken broth, I actually boiled my chicken in chicken broth. And so I just strained that, and that is what I used for the pot pie. And I think it gave it a little extra flavor, but I don't know, because I didn't do it the other way either. So we'll see. This is just the way I always do it. And then you're also going to add in 3/4 of a cup of milk and give it a good stir. Now let this cook for a few minutes until it gets nice and thick and bubbly. And once it gets to that point, you're going to start adding in your frozen vegetables. So at this point, you could do peas and carrots. I just did peas because I didn't have carrots. Then you're going to add in your chicken, your parsley, give it a nice good mix, and let it cook for a little longer. If you feel like it needs to get a little thicker, let it go ahead and sit there and cook. Now, for my pie crust, I just buy the frozen kind that come in the pan already, and they're ready, good to go, and usually get 2 per pack, which is perfect for pot pies because you can use the bottom one that's in the foil pan to pour your mixture in, and then the top one, you're just going to take the pie crust out of the foil pan and lay it right on top of your pot pie, and then crimp the edges and poke holes in the very top to allow steam to escape so it doesn't explode on you. And you're good to go. Throw it in your oven and bake it at 450 degrees. If you see that the crust starts getting a little bit too dark and you still have quite a bit of time left, go ahead and just throw a sheet of foil on top of the pie, and that will help the top crust from browning too much while you're trying to cook the rest of the pot pie. And now you're going to see why I told you to add in a little bit of extra flour. This guy was so runny, but let me tell you, he tasted amazing. The flavor was just, I don't know, it was definitely on point. And when we reheated the rest of it the next day, it actually did hold its own. So I don't know, maybe we just cut into it way too early. And lastly, we have chicken zucchini casserole. The ingredients that you'll need are 3 zucchini, a 6-ounce box of chicken stuffing mix, a can of cream of chicken soup, some chicken. It called for a small rotisserie. I didn't have that. I used 3 chicken breasts that were on the smaller side, so I don't know, a pile of chicken, 1/2 of a cup of butter, which is 1 stick, 1/2 of a cup of sour cream, and then I'm going to add in some onion because I have it and I just want to you know, use it in a recipe. The first thing I'm going to do is melt my butter. I'm just going to throw it into my bowl and melt it in the microwave while I am chopping up my zucchini. Okay, so I have my melted butter here. I'm going to add half of my stuffing mix to the butter, and I'm going to keep the other half to put on top when we're done. So just mix this around and let the butter kind of absorb into all this bread down here. So now that my stuffing has kind of absorbed all the butter that I had in here, I'm going to start adding the rest of my ingredients. We're going to add, and in no particular order, cream of chicken, sour cream, zucchini, and chicken. And then I would say I'm adding about maybe 1/4 cup of onion. Now just give it a good stir, and we're going to put it right into our pan. This is it. This is how simple this recipe truly is. Once you have it all well combined, you're just going to put it into a 9 by 13 pan and bake it. But I'm going to put mine into these smaller pans that I have because it's typically just Bella and I eating. And so I always make 2 anytime they say 9 by 13, and then we can throw 1 into our freezer or give 1 away or, you know, whatever. So I'm going to do half into this smaller pan, and then half into my other pan. And don't forget, we do need to top it with our remaining stuffing mix. So I will do that next. So here are my 2 pans completely done. I'm going to put the stuffing on top of both of them. And I'm going to go toss this one into the oven to cook right now for our dinner. I just took it out of the oven, so it's super hot, but here is what it looks like, all cooked up and delicious. It smells so good. I have it all plated, so I don't know, maybe we should eat it in a bowl, but tell me, what would you serve with this? I have just an empty space on my plate. I'm thinking, I guess like a really good French bread might be good with it. I don't know, it's already got bread in there. I have no idea. I don't know what to put here. Give me your ideas what I can serve this with. A casserole. What do you typically serve with a casserole? I don't know. Buttered bread? That's weird. I don't know. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you in our next video.